What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to show you one of the most common repairs on a shower screen door, and that is how to replace the rollers. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. So I've been called out to repair an issue with this shower screen door here, and as you can tell, it's a 3-door sliding track system. These ones here always have a very common issue, and that is to do with the rollers themselves. As soon as they deteriorate, the bearings will start to go. They build up a bit of gunk in there. You can see this one here is sitting on an angle, and it's pretty obvious to tell exactly what's going on here. Apart from the wheel actually being off the track, if you have a look there, you shouldn't actually see all these bearings. So we need to actually replace this one here. Very, very simple, easy job to do. If you come up to the top of the shower screen track here, this is actually a cover. So keep an eye out. You might find some pop rivets or some screws on the side here, but a lot of the time you just simply just pop it off. So if you just lift that one there up, do the same on the other side, and that will come right out. So nice and simple. We've got full access to the wheels and the track now. This one here in particular works off a drawstring system, so as they slide, it's going to be a little bit hard to show you guys. I'll try and wiggle it, but you can see there it draws back on that string, and that's what keeps it nice and tight and helps that just simply move along. Now with this one here, rather than pulling out all of these little guides and the string here, what we're going to do is just simply lift the shower screen door up and off the track, because this one here is so far the only one that we're working on, just this outer one right here. So an easy way to remove this is to firstly loosen off these screws here. That'll give us a bit of play on those wheels. We don't want to remove it completely just yet. Do the same thing on the other side. So we've just got that one there now nice and loose, so we can actually remove it off the top track. Make sure you don't remove it all the way, otherwise you're going to lose the screws and bearings will probably go everywhere. So try to keep it intact as much as possible. So now we've got this top section here, where you can see it won't come out, and that's because it's got a little hook on the bottom that clips into the bottom track. So we're going to slide this one here over just a little bit, so that I can show you guys, and I'll bring you down to the bottom of the door and I'll show you how to remove that as well. So on the bottom of the door, as we try and lift that up, you can see it's actually restricted and there's a little hook down the bottom. Because we've already loosened off the wheel, we can just simply push down on it and swing that right back, and you can see right in the back there, actually it's a little bit hard for you guys to see, there we go. So you can see that little hook right there, that's what's actually catching onto the bottom. Now if you haven't loosened off those top screws, you can use a little flathead screwdriver and you just simply press down on it and push the door back and out. That way it'll unhook from that bottom track here. But because we've got those wheels nice and loose up top, we've got actually a fair bit of play. So if we just move that guide all the way back up and out of the way, we can actually lift the door straight up now, and that'll clear the little track here that it was getting hooked on. So now we should be able to lift this door straight up and out. We'll turn it on its side just a little bit, remembering that it's still connected with those drawstrings up the top. So we don't want to put too much pressure on it, but we just want to put it on its side so that we can work on it nice and easy. And most importantly, so that you guys can actually see. So our wheels are nice and loose. At this point, we can actually take off the wheel completely by unscrewing the back screw. So it's just got a little screw on the back. Hopefully that'll focus for you guys, but it's just basically a little screw on the back, and we've got our wheel on the other side, and that threads into it. This one here, the bearing's completely gone. You can see it's not even straight anymore. So at this point, you can take this one right here, take it to your local hardware store and get a replacement. They're very generic sizes for the most part anyway. I've always got them on hand, and I'll show you guys the part number in case you live in Australia and you want to go down to Bunnings and pick one up. So just keep in mind that this one here has a flat wheel. That's what was originally installed on this one here. So you want to pick one up with a flat wheel as well. The part number for this one here is 4281, and you get a set of 2, which is perfect. I can't remember how much they were, probably about, honestly, say worst case scenario, maybe $10, but I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than that anyway. So we're going to open up our new wheels, and we're going to replace the first one here, and then we'll replace the back one. I'll put it all back on the track, and then I'll show you how to adjust it to make sure that everything opens and closes properly. At that point, we can also test the remaining sliding doors, or there's only one more sliding door because it's a 3-door system. One door is a fixed door, which is that one there. It's fixed into position, doesn't slide back or forth, and you've basically only got 2 doors to work on. So We're going to loosen off this screw here. You can do it all by hand initially. And then we'll tighten it with the drill once we do our final adjustment. So push it back in, reattach this one here. We're going to go about 3/4 of the way. And we'll take off this back one as well. They should be loose enough to do by hand. If not, you can go back with your drill or your screwdriver. Alright, so we've got that back one removed as well now. And we can replace this wheel as well. This is probably one of the most common repairs that you'll find on a shower screen door. Well, very, very easy to do. Honestly, like I said, it's going to cost you like $5–10 to do a sliding door, and maybe about 5–10 minutes of your time, but it's good to always know how things work. So we'll turn this one here back around. We're going to drop our bottom side in first, push it in underneath that door and make sure that it's able to hook onto the bottom. Then we're going to lift it up just slightly. You can even lift it up using the wheels, drop them back on track. Alright, so now we've got everything back in place. What we're going to do now is work on our adjustments. So we need to make sure that the door is off the ground, because you can tell now as I'm trying to push it, it's getting stuck on the bottom. You can see there it doesn't want to slide. So just before we start doing our adjustments, if we have a look at the slot here, this screw here moves up and down, and that's what gives us our adjustment. So we can lift the door up and bring this screw down to raise the door, or we can do the opposite as we've got now. This is sitting at its lowest point, and as we try and slide it, it's actually getting stuck on the door, on the floor. So you can see there, it doesn't want to slide. So once again, we'll lift this one here up, sit it on top, and what you want to look for is old indication marks. That's probably the best place to start. You can see here we've got 2 little markings, and this one here looks like it had 1 and then slid over time. So easiest way to work it out is to always go back to the original marking. So if we lift the door up, put it back in this position here, we'll tighten it, do the same thing on the other side, and then we can make our little minor adjustments from there. If you don't have any markings on your slot, that's fine. Just simply put it right in the middle, screw it all together, and then work out your adjustments off there. But previous markings are always an easy way to know roughly where it needs to go. Alright, so we'll lift this side here up, put it back in our old marking, tighten that one there, make sure the guide on the bottom is still locked into place. We'll lift this side here up, put it back on the track, and tighten this side here up as well. Alright, at this point we can test out the door, check and see if we're having any issues. This front door here is working perfectly, but I think we're having a bit of an issue on this back door. So what I'm going to do is slide this back door over and try and get a feel for what's happening. Yeah, it's definitely that back door. So we're going to have to work on this back door now and see what's going on with this one here. So I've just been looking at the door to try and figure out what's happening. If I bring this to a midpoint here without putting any tension on the pulley, I'm going to move just the front door a little bit that we just replaced the wheels on. You can hear that's nice, quiet and smooth. If I do the same thing on the back door, or this middle one here, you can hear that crunching kind of noise, and what that is just a bit of gunk built up on the track. So on the track here, we've got a track on the front and on the back. We've got a bit of grit in there, and the wheels are just simply crunching over the top of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a clean rag, we're going to clean out these tracks up here, spray some WD-40, and then test it again and see if that's gotten rid of the noise. Alright, good old WD-40 always comes in handy. It's working perfectly now. I'll just bring this camera down a little bit so you guys can see. So immediately that noise went away. As soon as I've cleaned it up, you can see here we've got a bit of grit and stuff from the wheels and bearings because it's all shattered anyway, and a bit of gunk's built up on there over time. But that is now working perfectly. All we need to do now is simply put this cap here back on top, which is nice and simple to do. Have a look from the back because it might get stuck on the lip, which it did on this side. Alright, once we've got that cap installed, our door is now working perfectly. Hopefully this video has helped you guys out. I've saved you a little or probably a lot of money. As always guys, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.